Yes, sir. We're officially back at it. This is Boog Nice coming at you with the Captain America MCU Giant Man Build-A-Figure Wave Nick Fury figure review. Let's do it.
Ain't for no scalper. You a scalper? Then fuck out shit. This one's for them real collectors. That's army building and posing figures. Marvel Legends, imports, mini matey I'm fucking with. Hype beast, we know about you. Stay buying figs.
Quick looking at the lower portion of the back of the package, you can see all of the characters that you need to complete the MCU. Giant Man, Captain America, Iron Man, Black Panther are all movie figures, and then you have Nuke, Nick Fury, and Red Guardian as the Marvel 616 universe characters. So they split the wave down the middle. Good on them. Moving right along. Taking a look at Nick Fury. I am very, very pleased with the way this figure came out. Everything looks sleek, looks clean. I haven't really seen any major paint imperfections. I do like this figure over the older and original S.H.I.E.L.D. agent mold, no question about it. Taking a quick look at the accessories, this is actually one of the interchangeable heads that come in the package. It's a helmeted head that looks like it has like a gas mask apparatus on it, which is nice. That'll definitely give you a little added flavor for your A.C.B.A. You could definitely explore some different things with that, so that was a nice touch. You also get this head, which is actually Dirk Anger, which is he was like a play on, I guess, Nick Fury or S.H.I.E.L.D. He was part of a group called Hate, or Hate was part of a larger group called Silent, the acronym Silent. Each letter stood for something, I believe. He's sort of supposed to be like a satire of Nick Fury and S.H.I.E.L.D., if I'm not mistaken. And a lot of people were confused about that. It was a nice touch, and obviously I'm not gonna turn my nose up at any additional accessories. And if you wanted to, you could take off this Dragon Ball Z Scouter and maybe customize the head and just have another option if you don't really care about this particular character. And you also get this little Ruger, which is not painted at all. There is no paint shading, no anything on this gun. It's really lackluster, but the actual sculpt and design of it is pretty nice. The gun can be holstered with no problem. There's a little hole at the bottom that allows it to come out. You actually may want to use a different gun that's a little more detailed, but at least this is a working holster. It also comes with the left arm to complete the MCU Giant Man. Taking a closer look at Fury and the deco and design of his costume. This is a little more modern take on the S.H.I.E.L.D. uniform. You'll see he looked like this from the time that Astonishing X-Men was pumping, when Josh Whedon was on Astonishing X-Men up through everything that's current. This is sort of how the S.H.I.E.L.D. uniform looked. I would say that the original S.H.I.E.L.D. agent that we got was actually not that accurate to the comics. This is definitely more comic accurate, and everything looks good here, man. The pouches look great. They've got some shading in them, and they look a little weathered, a little worn. And the white on the boots and gloves is not like bright white. Again, it looks like it has a little wear to it, so that's good. Little gripe: this gun is not removable. It's it's sculpted, it's molded like that. But again, all of these little pouches and everything is painted pretty nicely on here. The figure came out really good in terms of the paint, and they got the S.H.I.E.L.D. emblem on both shoulders. When you articulate the shoulders, it won't break. It's actually just there, painted on the shoulder, which is nice. And take a closer look. This is the bucket cap mold, so most of you should be familiar with the articulation, but I will go over it quickly. Head is on a ball joint. You can do a full 360. You could kind of get it to pivot a little bit. The head is not on there super tight, so you could get a little more character out of it. Like I said, get it to kind of tilt and do different things like that, but you get a very nice range of motion on the head. You get a ball joint. You get a really nice range of motion there. Do a full 360, upper bicep swivel, double jointed elbow, wrist swivel and hinge. You get the waist to turn, which is really tight, but it does turn. You get a nice ab crunch. Doesn't go back too far, but it can go forward, which is good because you probably want to get these guys to get knocked around when they're your generic S.H.I.E.L.D. agent. You get a ball joint here, or what they would call the T joint, so it doesn't allow the leg to go back too far. It could come up pretty far. You get a double jointed knee. You get rotation at the shin or the calf, hinge, and a nice deep pivot. You get peg holes at the bottom of the feet, and you do get one in the back as well. So really nice articulation, definitely what you would want in a potential army builder, because these are the guys that's going to be getting the brunt of all the attacks when you're setting up your A.C.B.A. I feel like all of these pouches are a customizer's dream. They'll be able to take them off and use them for different figures. This one is not really fixed, so you could actually just pull that off around the leg and pull it down off of the leg and use that for different people. I could see a lot of Punisher customs and stuff coming out of this, which is not really necessary because we're going to be getting Walgreens exclusive Punisher this year. But and there he is with the helmeted head. Looks good. There's Chameleon. You are going to get most of the recent releases from Marvel Legends, those heads to pop on this body. Couple of quick size comparisons. There he is to the most recent Captain America from the Red Onslaught wave. I think that works pretty well. I think the relation in height is about right between these two guys. There he is next to Namor, and there he is next to the old first release of the S.H.I.E.L.D. agent. And you can see how this newer version is much better. I mean, I know a lot of people still love the older S.H.I.E.L.D. agents, but this one is definitely crushing the older version. The only thing that they didn't really add on a new one was the sheath for the little knife, but I don't know if that's really necessary. I think it's fine without it, and I don't know that the modern takes on the costume had that knife. I would have to Google it and look it up, but much better on the newer version, especially with the hands. I wasn't really a big fan of how the hands moved and the fingers were articulated on the older version. And check this out. You absolutely can swap on the older helmeted head, and it looks good. The proportions look fine. So all of you cats that have been around since the early days that were able to army build a bunch of these, now you can have a new updated generic S.H.I.E.L.D. soldier. So that they are. You can see that this head is actually the peg. The peg hole is a little larger on the Nick Fury head, so it doesn't sit as well. But this one is on there with no problem. It holds, and you can see the emblem is on the shoulder here and on the bicep there. And this one is just light years ahead. Just looks much better. So definitely a great figure overall. Definitely a lot to be explored with this head and with the body, and trying to build your S.H.I.E.L.D. army. And you can see right here I have the old Dum Dum Dugan head on the body, and it looks good. I think that it's just a tad bit small. You can see his head is definitely smaller in comparison to Nick Fury and definitely to Cap, you know that. But it works. It still can work. You can get quite a few different heads on the body, and it scales well with the other enemy army builders like the Hydra agent and the AIM soldier. Just a couple more things before I get out of here. This is the Agent Coulson body. The head does not pop on there. You can see it's really loose, but I mean, if you just sit it on there, it looks okay. It does, however, fit perfectly fine on the Chameleon body, and I feel like this is the body that more people were able to army build anyway, and that looks really good for a suited Nick Fury, which is a way that we've seen him in the comics as well. So again, definitely a lot of options. It's definitely a great purchase as far as the accessories and everything that you get. So I'm definitely recommending this one. Until next time, peace.
That's crispy.